All right, this is our podcast with Daniel Hajjar, Joseph Dempsey, Ian Markey, and Brandon Wade. We're going to start off with number 4 from the Allegory in the Cave. How is it possible that people can believe in illusion and accept it as reality? So, I believe that the reason that people believe in illusions and accept it as their reality is because they have never really experienced reality, just like the people in the cave. They were imprisoned in the cave for their whole life and never really got to see what the outside world was like, and which made them seem like whatever they were seeing in there was actually reality of the world until the man got out of the cave and saw what the world was really.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Hajjar. Like, if you're being exposed to one way, one certain thing for your entire life, or a majority of it, and you realize that that's fake, like, I guess that's just like groundbreaking for that person alone.
Yeah.
Like, if that's the only thing you're exposed to, that's the only thing you're going to believe in. Like, there's no other way for you to realize that it's wrong or not true. So yeah, I totally agree with what you're saying, Joe.
It's almost like if you're told every day, like of your life, that ice cream tastes good, right? But you've never had ice cream. You're gonna believe that it tastes good, but it's only once you have ice cream and taste it that you can make your own opinion about it.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna go to number 5. What sometimes happens to people when the illusion is shattered and reality is revealed?
So, like in the cave, what happens to the people is their muscles are atrophied and their eyes are used to the darkness of the cave. So once they are exposed to the outside, it's very painful for them. Like, their muscles hurt to move and they can't really see because the sun is so bright. But in real life, that kind of applies because it takes us a while to get used to reality and what it means in our lives.
Yeah, in the Allegory in the cave, the guy comes back to like tell everyone that like everything is like basically fake, and since like they're so accustomed to like having like the cave and like the illusion as reality. First of all, I mean, if one person came up and said like, I don't know, just something like that went against like, I don't know, like most of like every belief that you have, you probably say, oh, like, the guy's crazy. Like, people who say that the world's gonna end, stuff's like, you treat him like that, basically.
Yeah. I feel like when reality is revealed to the man, I feel like it's just like an open, like his world just like completely opened up. Like his whole life he was only looking through one lens of the scope. Meanwhile, when he got out, he saw so many different other lenses, and like he saw so many different perspectives that he never even thought like existed, and that just changed his complete like viewpoint, and he realized that everything that he believed his whole life was truly wrong because of one instance in his life where he actually realized that reality was a thing.
Yeah, I agree with all you guys, and like in addition, I mean, accepting an illusion as your reality, it doesn't even have to be in such extreme circumstances where you're trapped in a cave your whole life and you're staring at shadows your entire life and thinking that that's the world. It could take part in like even today's world to a lesser extent, but to the same effect, where even if your parents are just really strict and they don't let you out of the house and you don't experience many things in your life, when you become an adult and you're on your own now, it's just so much more for you to realize you just don't expect anything that comes around the corner because it's just not how you were brought up. So even if you're just brought up and raised a certain way, it can totally just change your view on the world and people around you. So I think it also applies to that as well.
All right, we're gonna move on to number 6. Describe other caves in modern life in which people might be imprisoned or feel imprisoned. So right away when I read this question, I just thought definitely prison, like an actual jail, because people are kept in small rooms under like refinement basically, and they're just secluded from all of humanity for substantial periods of time, which means that they can't like experience the world for what it is anymore, and they're just sheltered into one little like hole basically. They're in their own little hole, and that was the one thing that I thought of. The second one that I thought of was school. Now, the way that I thought of school was in a bad, or like it's bad, but it's also good, because school like you're always taught in school to follow certain formulas in like class and everything, and like also school tries to shelter you in from like experiencing bad things in the world because they don't want you to get like scared or anything. They want you to just keep going on with life and succeed and everything, and that's good because it like keeps your mind off all the bad things, but it's also bad because you're not experiencing the world for what it is, and one day where you might take a step outside, you're gonna see everything for like the first time, and it could completely change your perspective on life. So, yeah. We're gonna go on to number 8. The allegory presupposes that there is a distinction between appearances and reality. Do you agree? Why or why not?
I'm gonna go ahead and start with this one because I don't really think you can agree or disagree. I feel like it goes both ways. Like it's kind of yes and no with the statement because there is a distinction between appearances and reality, but also at the same time it's on the borderline of being very similar in the same way. And I think an easy way to look at this would be thinking about getting into a relationship with someone. That's a very good example because on the outside they can appear to be great, have a great personality, characteristics, but in reality they can have a more sinister morale, and because of this you might not want to spend time with this person. So I think that's one reason where you can say that they do have a distinction, but on the flip side, someone's appearances and then when you actually get to know them and their reality of who they are can be a great person overall, so and you would want to spend time with that person. So I think it goes both ways. You can say agree, disagree, but I think it's just more both ways. You can't really have a solid, clear-cut statement about it. But
I
that's
think
just my view.
the distinction between it is that like appearances are based off reality. So in the like the allegory in the cave, like the shadows are being made by the actual objects, which is the reality basically. So they're similar, but Socrates says it's just basically a poor copy of what reality is. So like through appearances, you can get a general idea of what reality is, but you can't fully grasp it only through appearances.
Yeah,
I think is what he's trying to say.
What further kind of meshes the two together is like once the guy escaped and he realized what reality was, he tried to go back in the cave to convince everybody else. But they were so focused on just the shadows on the wall that they couldn't understand like even the possibility of there being an outside world and a reality. And so like if one person is open to this reality and they try to go out and like tell anyone else about it, like just any person, it wouldn't really work because like all of society is like that, and it would just be one person who's open to reality.
All right, that's it for today's podcast. Thank you.